People are pretty much always going to call this one the X.
It has the stainless steel bands all the way around the edge.
The sides are so sleek. That stainless steel, just incredible.
You'll also notice the large black border around the display. I actually think it makes the bright colors of the display pop.
The screen is awesome, and it's a big part of why this phone looks so good from so many angles. It's bright, it's contrasty, well calibrated, definitely not oversaturated like some OLEDs can be.
The screen is great.
The display is popping. The viewing angles are incredible.
So on the outside, it's the shape we're used to, the rectangle with rounded corners, but this is the first time the display itself actually has curved corners, and it's pushed right up to the edges of the phone, or at least closer than they've ever been.
We'll take a look at the back, and it really is much more amazing in person. I mean, the glass shines right through into the silver back.
The biggest difference is the display up front, the 5.8-inch OLED corner-to-corner screen that fits in a footprint smaller than the iPhone 8 Plus, which has a smaller screen.
But what's insane is how small this phone is in my hand. Because the phone is actually smaller, it makes me feel like the screen is smaller, but it's actually not. Taking this 10 and putting it on top of the 8, and essentially it's just a screen.
iPhone X is rocking the A11 Bionic chip and 3 gigs of RAM, and it's awesome.
The touch input refresh rate is 120 Hertz. The actual display is 60 Hertz.
Apple's gotten rid of the home button. There's no more fingerprint sensor. There's an OLED screen, the first on an Apple phone. You unlock it just by looking at it.
One of the things that I really like that's on the home screen is they have access to the flashlight and the camera right there. I feel like those are the two things that I'm always struggling to find.
It's water resistant, which gives you some nice peace of mind. It has wireless charging.
A lot of you asked us about burn-in, and I haven't seen any yet. Asked Apple about it. They've also done a ton of work with the screen and the operating system to limit burn-in.
One of the things that people made fun of the most about the iPhone X is the notch at the top. I was one of those that made fun of it, and to be completely honest with you, I didn't even notice that it was a thing. It just sort of seamlessly integrates into the phone.
iPhone X has an IR light, a dot projector, and an IR camera all tucked into that notch at the top of the screen. The IR light goes off, sees a face, the dot projector flashes a pattern of 30,000 dots. You're in.
One thing that I was worried about when I would get in my car, because I always use my phone for directions, I thought since it's kind of far away because it's sitting on my dashboard that it wouldn't be able to read my face and unlock if I reached my hand over, and guess what? It did. And it was dark and everything just worked perfectly.
New cameras, both are optically stabilized, so this is going to get you some meaningfully better performance with the 2x telephoto lens and zoomed in photos and zoomed in videos.
The back of the iPhone X has two optically stabilized 12 megapixel cameras, one with an f1.8 wide angle lens and the other with an f2.4 telephoto. That's an upgrade from the 8 Plus, which has an f2.8 non-stabilized telephoto lens. That stabilized tele lens is great. These are probably the best zoom photos I've ever taken on a phone.
One of the things that I thought was very shocking is the animojis. Actually trying it and seeing it in person is kind of amazing. Seeing the expressions of a poop emoji mimic my expressions is kind of something that you really do need to experience in real life.
You know what is fun though? Animoji. They're the best feature of the iPhone X. I love Animoji, and I'm not afraid to say it in the form of this talking monkey.
It's such a joy just to use. It's so fluid. Going home feels very natural, like much better than I thought without a home button.
Once you get used to swiping up to unlock the phone, it's easy to get used to swiping up to go back to the home screen.
How do you take a screenshot? That is power and volume up.
Screenshots don't have the notch, just a big blank space where the notch is on the phone.
Since holding the power button now goes to Siri, how do you turn the phone off? Well, it's going to be long pressing the power button and volume up key.
Going to delete apps, there's a little notification up here that says done. So you can just hit right up there, click done, and you're ready to go.
Really liked reachability on the bigger iPhone. You technically still have it here. It's buried in the accessibility settings, but you can do the little swipe down on the bottom of the screen to bring the top corners within reach. The one that took me the longest was multitasking, because I started off thinking you had to swipe up, then wait, and then the cards show up. To get this to work is you swipe up and over, and that gets you to the cards way faster.
You can also use Face ID for Apple Pay. You just double click the side button, authenticate, and then hold the phone to the reader. It actually makes more sense than Touch ID because you're actively turning Apple Pay on instead of just waving your phone at the card reader and hoping it works. I think it's pretty nice.
How easy it is to set up Face ID. The new screen capture is right up here on the top to let me know that it's recording. So we're gonna click Get Started, position My face in the frame, move phone a little lower, lower, okay. Move your head slowly to complete the circle. Continue, move your head slowly to complete the circle. Face ID is set up, so that's it.
The iPhone X supports Qi wireless charging. This car also supports wireless CarPlay. Drop it on the pad down here. The wireless charging light is up. In just a second, CarPlay shows up. That is the dream.
So yeah, you can see in these Animojis, the physics of things moving around is actually pretty on point. You can map your face to a cartoon animal head and send it to someone in iMessage.
To just send a still sticker just like you would send any normal iMessage stickers. All you have to do is make that facial expression, tap and hold on the Animoji with that expression, and drag and drop it into iMessage.
Battery life on the iPhone X has turned out to be pretty great. It handles the biggest iPhone display ever. I haven't had any problems getting to the end of a single day with full use. And if you want to use that screen on time metric, it's usually around 6 hours.
The iPhone X is at the top of the class when it comes to quality. If you love iPhones and you've got the money, you should buy this phone. I think you're gonna be really, really happy.
Wow, I am blown away, Apple. Great job with this thing.
In that half of a day, it has far exceeded my expectations, and that's something that I didn't actually think was possible.
This is iPhone X, and it's my favorite iPhone ever by far. This is my favorite iPhone ever by far. I really like it. Honestly, I don't think people spending the money on this phone will be disappointed.